Solana is suddenly on everyone's radar. Over the last year, Sol has staged what can only be described as an epic recovery rally, doing over 7x since FTX collapsed last year. And it's left everyone wondering why Sol has been pumping so hard. That's why today we're going to bring you up to speed about what's been going on with Solana and tell you where Sol could be headed next.
U ovom videu Mike, poznatiji kao The Guy iz Coin Bureau tima, govori o veoma interesantnim informacijama, novostima i predikciji cene Solane. Zato pogledajte ovaj video do kraja i saznajte o čemu se radi. Ovaj video sponzorisan je od strane BingX mjenjačnice na kojoj se pored Solane može kupiti i Bitcoin i preko 500 drugih kriptovaluta, a da pritom nije potrebno odraditi KYC. Link sa velikim brojem bonusa pri registraciji možete pronaći u opisu ovog videa.
Now, Solana's endgame is to be a decentralized competitor to centralized stock exchanges like the Nasdaq. In a recent interview, Anatoly noted that this is still the endgame of the project, but also noted that its purpose has broadened to include other use cases, namely DeFi, NFTs, and crypto payments. As a fun fact, by the way, Solana is apparently the official blockchain for Circle's USDC. It uses a proof-of-stake blockchain with a 400 millisecond block time, which timestamped transactions using a technology called proof of history. This makes it possible for Solana to theoretically process up to 710,000 transactions per second. In Solana's case is that its blockchain is infamous for experiencing frequent outages. Now, the reasons for these outages vary, but they fundamentally boil down to the fact that Solana prioritized speed above all else. Even so, it's important to note that there have been no outages since February. In terms of tokenomics, meanwhile, Sol is used for staking and to pay for transaction fees on Solana. 50% of these fees are burned. Two of the largest investors in Solana and Solana's ecosystem were FTX and Alameda Research. They held between 10 and 15% of Sol's supply when they collapsed last November. Concerns about both entities selling their Sol as part of the bankruptcy process is why many, including us, were concerned about Solana. Solana was also FTX's de facto exchange chain, which led to concerns that the project could have been involved in FTX and Alameda's dealings. Thankfully, though, this turned out not to be the case. Sol dropped to a low of $8, which in retrospect was the bottom for Sol during this bear market. In January this year, Sol's recovery continued due to the emergence of a new meme coin on Solana called Bonk. Naturally, this resulted in an obscene amount of trading fees and a sizable Sol pump. Now, in April this year, the tide started to turn for Solana. First, it announced the launch of its mobile crypto phone called Saga, which is now selling at a huge discount. Second, Solana introduced a new technology called state compression to reduce the cost of storage. This upgrade makes it possible to mint NFTs on Solana for next to nothing. This could increase Solana's adoption in the long term. As a cherry on top, Solana announced that it would be integrating ChatGPT to make it easier for developers to fetch data and build dApps on its blockchain. Now, to bring you up to speed, for a long time, Solana only had one validator client. To our understanding, a lack of validator client diversity was one of the reasons why Solana had outages. In October last year, a Solana DeFi protocol called Jito launched a second validator client. They have an airdrop going on, FYI. Now, Firedancer will be Solana's third validator client, and it won't just increase Solana's decentralization and security. It will apparently make Solana a lot faster as well, though it's not clear by how much. What is clear, though, is that it's going to be a big deal. Firedancer was built by Jump Crypto, the high-frequency trading firm. Lo and behold, the institutional investors continued to ape into Sol in November, with ARK Invest's Cathie Wood essentially saying that Solana is better than Ethereum. So this begs the question of where Sol is headed next. In the long term, it's possible that Solana is following Ethereum, but one cycle behind. Ethereum hit a market cap of over 500 billion during the last cycle. If Solana follows suit this time around, it would translate to a price of around $1,200 per Sol, a 20x move from its current price. Oh, and if you're looking to trade Sol, don't forget about those exchange deals. Now, whether Sol can hit this four-figure target ultimately depends on Solana's roadmap. I'll reiterate that Solana is easily one of the most promising crypto projects out there. Even so, the fact that it's proof of stake means that large institutions could buy enough Sol to take control. Alternatively, they could just use their own private and permissioned versions of Solana and send the regulators after the public and permissionless version of the project. This is a concern that we have with most promising proof-of-stake cryptos, not just Solana. Thankfully, it's not an imminent threat. So, objectively speaking, Solana is perfectly positioned to be one of the top-performing large-cap cryptocurrencies of the next bull market. Ironically enough, this is precisely because of the thing that made everyone hate it so much, its obsession with making its blockchain as fast as possible. Well, as Anatoly rightfully pointed out, once you solve the scalability issue, solving everything else becomes a lot easier. It's safe to say that Solana has solved this issue, or is at least very close to doing so. This means that Solana will be capable of handling more traffic than any other cryptocurrency at the layer 1 level.